If you had the choice to have multiple wives, would you? I understand some people can't speak on it, but if you want to be honest and transparent, if it was a thing here,
who can't speak on it? I would love to know who needs to keep that under wraps.
I don't know, man. I just had to put it out there, man, as a disclaimer. I don't see nobody speaking. Are y'all something that y'all against?
Waiting on you to finish your thought, bro.
I mean, that's good. Just want to open it up.
I would not. I would not have multiple wives. Me, Shannon is a no. That's my vote.
No
I don't know if I would. I mean, I didn't really grow up that way or come to understand it, but I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of Middle Eastern brothers who do have two wives, and they've kind of broken down sort of the psychology and how they go about it. But it's definitely not the way that we here in the West tend to kind of look at having two wives. It's viewed a little bit different.
Interesting. What about you, Purple Pill?
I think one girl is hard enough to handle sometimes, man. Especially if you're trying to get like the young pretty ones or something. Like you don't need multiple. They're a pain in the ass already, just one.
Okay. Is she sitting right there?
No.
Okay.
I'll go. No, I cannot have multiple wives. I would not do it. Multiple wives equals multiple opinions, and I'm gonna go nuts. All right, so I think about it a lot, and it's not worth the trouble. A lot of things that we get excited about as men is not worth the trouble. I think if you're gonna do it, either way you do it, if you're gonna have children with the other woman or anything, that's like I said, two sets of opinions, two sets of people, pulling on you for problem solving in different ways. And I do not see men with multiple wives. Yes, some of them do, they work, they have a nice estate. Some of them are even able to house the women separately and things like that. But I don't want to have to set up multiple game plans or, like I said, multiple opinions on what each individual person wants. And I also think for some reason, I don't think a lot of people understand this. I think it has effect on the kids. I think it does. Especially in Western society. If it's not common, if all the neighbors don't also have multiple wives, I think you're doing something, weird. They're going to have identity issues. Something's going to be wrong with them because in a place where only your parents are doing something, but nobody else's parents are doing it, it's going to have a negative effect on them, in my opinion. My mic is muted.
All right.
I want to add to that what he just said, but I kind of disagree because I feel like nowadays being married is the rare thing. Like nowadays, you live on certain blocks. It's only one couple that actually has a mother and a father in the home, and the rest of them is like they used to like their dad having two different baby moms. They used to their mom having two different baby fathers. So, I would kind of disagree with that. But where I would agree is that I think that in today's day and age, with the dynamic between men and women, I definitely would not have multiple wives. Maybe when I was a younger man, before I experienced life and experienced society the way it is, I might have that might have seemed like a really great idea to me. But where it is now, no, I feel like it would be like multiple problems, multiple liabilities, and like Trigger Mike said, multiple opinions. And I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, me personally, I think once you've been married, it's kind of hard to see somebody who would say yes. I think just speaking for myself, just being candid, I've always struggled with being vulnerable, with being emotionally available, and being considerate and thoughtful to one woman. So I'm 1,000% sure I wouldn't do it for two. I mean, 1,000% sure. Also, I know Mike touched on it. I do think it sets a precedent that I wouldn't want my daughter to normalize or get used to. And so that would be really my primary concern, that part, the precedent that I would set with my daughter.
All right. What about you, man? Who was that? Go ahead, Homer. Go ahead.
For me, it's a no because I follow the Bible, and it says to be a husband of one wife, and of course I can echo the other sentiments. Yes, it says that in the New Testament, bro. Okay. Oh, here we go.
The Bible says a deacon should be the husband of one wife.
You don't know what my status is, right? So here we go.
We're not tonight. We're not doing. Y'all did Bible study last time. I'm telling you, we did it for like 45 minutes. Y'all not doing this tonight. they will get into the Bible deep. But my mic is muted. I just want to say that.
All right, go ahead. Finish on with that.
I'm good, bro. That's my answer. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting that nobody fought back on other people's opinion, though. But I got you.
Okay. I want you guys to hold tight real quick. Let me play this clip.
Well, let me answer, JR, if I may.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back to it. I just want to just put the clip
Okay.
in, and I'll come back to you, Hank.
No, do they have multiple women out there?
Yeah, they do. So in Nigeria, growing up, polygamy is celebrated.
Yeah.
Like, so if you are a one man, one woman type of person,
Yeah.
no guy want to hang out with you. They think you're a failure. They think something is wrong with you. But the more women, the more wives you have, the more children you have, the more celebrated you are. You know, I grew up with my granddad, probably had about maybe 8 to 10 wives. Back then, there was some benefit to it because the more wives and children you have, the richer you are. Because you have more manpower to work for you in the farm, so you have more money. So it was also economic reasons, and also to just the norm of the society. The more women you have, but I didn't like that. You know, I felt like that was for that period. But in the 21st century, just the more women you have, just more stress. Then too, you can silence a woman. A man that can say, "Be quiet," and she won't talk back. He can tell all his wives to be quiet and nobody's going to bother him. But you can't do it right now. They're going to scream at that. You got it in America, you know.
Ain't no way.
Like, you can't tell me nothing.
No way that's happening in America.
So it's more stressful now. So right now, there's changing. So more men are trying to stick with one wife right now.
Are they?
Why you get my cousin to snitch like that, man? God damn. Somebody take his ass to the barbershop. That haircut was not popping.
Hey, but Trigger Mike, I don't know if you know. Well, you do know I'm half Nigerian.
Yeah.
And their brother has the same last name as my father.
Oh, that's your cousin. Oh, my bad.
I reached out to him to see what he said he didn't know my dad. So I saw that last name. I said, go ahead, Hank.
No, the heathen that and myself, yeah, I'm not for multiple wives. I'm good with one. Yeah, I ain't with that shit.
That's it.
Now, make no mistake. I think I'd be a great husband to multiple women. I think. Really? Yeah. To everything that the women would need would be no problem. I think I'd be a great but like everybody else, I think on this panel has said, is well, not everybody, but because Humble is doing it for religious purposes, but everybody else is just like and I don't even think that we would have had a problem if it was a different era or a different type of women, but the way with what we have to deal with today, one is enough. For me, absolutely, one is enough.
Well, let me do a little pushback. So I would argue that every guy on this panel, if we just happen to be billionaires and we could have it, like we could have all the leverage with young, beautiful women that were going to be submissive and good and not like this, like find good traditional women to do it. And especially today's day and age when women are more likely to want to do stuff like that because it's becoming more normalized. I think that more guys on this panel would actually take that. I mean, maybe the Christian ones that are very like in their faith, they wouldn't do it. But yeah, I would argue if you had the means, most guys would take it because it's just but
based on what you described, forget the billions. Forget the billion part. Based on what you just described, the women that you just described, shit, the average dude to take that.
Yeah. The fact that you framed it as you have to have billions to be able to deal with multiple wives just shows how not worth it is. Like you got to be a billionaire to deal with it. I'm good.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like to have the right amount of leverage, you would have to have an insane amount of money. So it's not.
But